The Baltimore Orioles are one of two teams in all of baseball with at least 80 wins. But did it come at a price? Unfortunately, it's not all good news. We'll talk about it in this one. Let's have a mound visit. Let's go O's! What's going on, Birdland? Baltimore Bobst here, and welcome to the Baltimore Bobst YouTube channel where we discuss all things Baltimore Orioles. I'm your host, Bobst, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the Birds' 5-4 victory over the Rockies in Game 1 of their 3-game set. But first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for your patience. Bro, last 2 days, I've been working my stinking butt off, and I finally got enough energy to come up here and make another one of these videos. And unfortunately, it's real good news, but there's some bad news too. I don't want to get too deep into it because we really don't know the extent of it. But without further ado, anyone who watched the baseball game yesterday knows that it was exciting. It was ups and downs. We had the lead. We lost the lead. We retook the lead. Gunnar Henderson goes stinking ham. He hits an absolute stinking rocket in the 8th to take the Orioles and put them on top. And then Felix Bautista he's rolling down the tracks like the train that he is. And with one strike to go, he comes off the mound with what they're saying is arm discomfort. And that is everything that I've looked at. I have not been able to see anything that would expand on what that means. So I'm hoping that this is just precautionary because obviously, as we know, Felix Bautista has been an absolute staple in the Orioles bullpen. He's an all-star. He's been absolutely fantastic. And, he's a big part of this club. He is a huge part to the success of the Orioles. And, I don't want to get too much into it just right now because obviously we don't know exactly what the injury is. But it was not good to see him come off the mound like that. So that is the bad news. Now, with that being said, and us not knowing the extent of what's going on with that situation, we're not going to focus too much on that, even though I've probably focused enough on it already. Let's get into the exciting part, which is the Birds getting to 80 wins, guys. 80 wins! I mean, one of two teams in all of baseball that have 80 wins. One of them is your Baltimore Orioles. So let's get into the box score real quick. Colorado Rockies get 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Baltimore Orioles score 5 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Fuji gets the win because he goes 2 innings, gives up 1 hit, has 2 Ks, looks real good. Hey, bravo, Fuji. Bravo. As most of you know, I've been kind of one of those guys that's like, hey, you need to show me, man. We're not seeing very good stuff. Well, Fuji pitched. He's been pitching pretty well his past couple of opportunities. So tip your cap to my man Fuji. The loss goes to Suter, who gave up that absolute stinking rocket to my boy Gunnar Henderson. And then Danny Coulombe gets a 1-pitch save. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So, Orioles hitters. Adley Rutschman goes 1 for 4. Ryan Mountcastle goes 2 for 4. He had that first inning home run that bounced right off the top of the right center wall. He ends up legging out a triple, and they throw it in, gets past the third baseman, and then he trots home anyway. So either way you wanted to score it, he's going to get a round tripper. And my man gets another dinger. So good for my man Ryan Mountcastle. Anthony Santander goes 1 for 4. Austin Hayes had a big game. He went 2 for 3. He also hit a stinking blast. Brought the Birds to 4-3 after the Rockies had already taken the lead. Gunnar Henderson, 2 for 3 with 3 ribbies, and that just absolute missile in the 8th. I mean, absolute stinking missile. James McCann, he goes 1 for 4. Jordan Westburg goes 1 for 3, draws a walk. Ryan McKenna goes 0 for 1. Cedric Mullins goes 0 for 2. Jorge Mateo goes 0 for 2. And Adam Frazier goes 0 for 1. As a team, the Baltimore Orioles go 10 for 31 and draw 2 walks. And getting into the play-by-play, Cole Irvin takes the hill for the Birds. He ends up going 6 innings, gives up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. Wasn't a terrible outing. It was a serviceable outing, and I'll give it up to Cole. He's been pitching pretty well. Like I said, Fuji goes 2 innings, only gives up 1 hit, has 2 Ks. Felix Bautista, unfortunately, is only able to finish 2/3, and he has 1 strikeout before he exits the game. And then Danny Coulombe gets the 1-pitch save. So top half of the first, Cole Irvin shuts it down, nothing. And the Birds come up in the bottom half of the first. So Rutschman lines out to center, and then Ryan Mountcastle hits a 361-foot home run that literally bounces off the top of the right center field wall. And there was some confusion about whether it was a home run or whether it wasn't a home run, but he hit it just over that wall and ends up getting a round tripper. And it's probably one of the hardest home runs that he's ever hit, because he ended up trying to leg out a triple when he had cleared the fence. So Santander singles the center, then Hayes doubles the center, and then my man Henderson hits a sac fly and scores Santander, who, for all intents and purposes, it was a good sin by a third base coach. He's going to make that center fielder make a play, so I like the aggression in the first. It's 2-0 Orioles. The Rockies come back, and they end up scoring 4 unanswered runs on Cole Irvin through the 4th, and puts the Birds in a little bit of a hole. So let's move to the bottom half of the 6th. Mountcastle singles to left, and then unfortunately Santander grounds into a double play to erase any of that success, but Hayes comes up big and hits a solo shot to right center with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 6th to bring the Birds up to 4-3. Henderson singled right after that, and James McCann singled right behind him. So you got runners on the corners with 2 down, and Jordan Westberg, unfortunately, grounds out to third in the inning, which has the Birds still down 4-3. Moving to the bottom half of the 8th. So Suter comes in, and he's going to try to shut it down for the Colorado Rockies, and let's just say that that's not what happened. Santander does fly out to center. Hayes draws a walk. And then the kid comes to the plate. Then I think that's a perfect name for this guy, the kid. Gunnar Henderson hits an absolute missile to right. I mean, whoever is the fan that stuck his hand up trying to catch that baseball, I feel sorry for him. I wonder if the EMS team had to go out there and check on that guy, or maybe reposition his fingers, I mean, good night. That thing was absolutely smoked, and it was in a huge spot. And one of the more exciting things that I thought about that play was watching Gunnar Henderson round first, just absolutely pumped up on fire. That's what that guy's thinking gives you, man. I mean, when he gets a hold of one, and I mean, you can tell he sat on that sweeper / curveball, whatever you want. That thing was belt high. He read it right out of Suter's hands. He sat on that thing, and I mean, I don't know what that launch angle was, but he got all of it. And I mean, just hit an absolute rope over the right field scoreboard. Just absolutely phenomenal, man. And then even watching him cross the plate and come into the dugout and just bumping elbows with everybody, that guy fires people up, man. I love watching Gunnar Henderson play, man. He is so exciting to watch. And that puts the Baltimore Orioles up 5-4, and they're able to hold on despite the Felix Bautista arm discomfort injury and Danny Coulombe having to come in and get that 1-pitch save, man. So that was an exciting baseball game. And I'm telling you, man, these guys are never out of it. It doesn't matter what the score is, it doesn't even matter what part of the game it is. These kids play and they play and they play and they play, and you can never let your guard down because a Gunnar Henderson's going to come to the plate and he's going to make you pay. And it's somebody different every night. Obviously, Gunnar does it all the time, but it's all throughout this lineup. And tonight was Gunnar's night. He does this probably, it seems like once a week, right? That this kid just comes up big, and that's exactly what it did tonight to really propel the Birds to that 5-4 victory. So the Baltimore Orioles go to 80-48. And good news, the Tampa Bay Rays also took an L, which brings the Baltimore AL East lead back up to 3 games. So got a lot of good news coming out of this baseball game, and it's almost a shame that we have the Felix Bautista ordeal lingering over it, because the Baltimore Orioles played a fantastic game. So, Game 2, 7:05, Saturday Night Baseball. It's going to be Chris Flexen versus Kyle Bradish. Kyle Bradish has been absolutely phenomenal. We all know that. And he's 8-6 with a 3.03 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP. He's going to be going up against Flexen, who's 1-5 with a 7.18 ERA and a 1.79 WHIP. So this will be another good opportunity for the Birds to get some real good swings in and hopefully get another W against an inferior team. I'm excited, man. This is a good stretch. We got the Rockies. If we handle business against the Rockies and we handle business against the White Sox coming into Camden Yards, man, we can really open this thing up possibly. So how about them Birds, guys? How about them Birds? 80-48 with a 5-4 victory over the Rockies. Can't wait to talk about the next one. Hey, hopefully y'all keep Felix in your thoughts and prayers, man, because he, like I said, he is a huge part of this Baltimore Orioles club, and he is a huge, intricate part of our success moving into the future. So I hope everything's good, man. Do I think that we still have the horses, obviously, to compete, regardless of what that situation is? Yes, but it doesn't take away at all how huge of a blow that is. 80-48, Baltimore Orioles, second best record in baseball, leading the AL East. Doesn't get much better than that, Birdland. Hey, have a good day. We'll talk to you on the next one. Go, Birds, go.